Every morning at 5:30, I sit quietly on my tatami mat, gently stretching my legs as the sun begins to rise over our little garden. At 83 years old, my knees still bend with grace, and my ankles never feel tight or swollen. My American daughter-in-law once asked me, "Grandma, how do you walk so lightly, even at your age?" I smiled and said, "It begins with what we eat, especially before we sleep." In Japan, we believe healing starts in the evening, not the morning. And there's one humble dish I've made for over 40 years, chawanmushi, a silky steamed egg custard rich in natural collagen. It may look simple, but science now supports what we've known for generations. Collagen-rich foods at night can ease swelling, improve circulation, and support aging legs. A study from the Japanese Journal of Geriatric Nutrition found that seniors who consumed natural collagen before bedtime reported less leg heaviness and better sleep quality within just 4 weeks. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Why do legs swell so easily after 60? When I was younger, I thought swollen legs were something that only happened after long walks or standing for too long at the market. But after I turned 65, I noticed something had changed. Even on quiet days, my ankles would puff up like soft rice cakes by evening. My shoes would feel tight. My legs felt heavy, as if they no longer belonged to me. At first, I blamed it on age, brushing it off with a soft laugh. "It's just what happens," I told myself. But deep inside, I worried. What if one day I could no longer walk to the temple with my friends, or tend to the bonsai I've cared for since my husband passed? You see, after 60, our bodies slow down in quiet, invisible ways. Our circulation becomes less efficient. The blood that flows down to our legs during the day doesn't always find its way back up so easily. The tiny valves in our veins weaken. Fluid begins to gather. The muscles that once helped push it back now tire quickly, especially if we don't move as much as we used to. In Japan, many elders quietly accept this. We sit with legs swollen, hiding them under blankets, thinking it's a small price to pay for a long life. But I believe otherwise. Aging should feel soft, not heavy, and swollen legs are not something we must endure without question. There's also something else we don't often talk about, how swelling affects the heart. It's not just discomfort. It makes it harder to sleep. It steals our balance. It chips away at our confidence, one quiet moment at a time. I've seen many elders in my neighborhood fall because their legs felt too stiff to lift. Some stopped going out altogether. In America, I hear it's common to take pills or wear tight stockings. These may help, yes, but in Japan, we always begin with food and lifestyle. We ask, what did I eat? When did I eat? Did I sit too long? Did I forget to stretch today? And often, the answers point back to our everyday habits. When my own swelling began, I turned to the wisdom of my grandmother. She used to say, "If your legs are tired, your dinner should do the walking." I didn't understand it as a child, but now I do. She meant that the right evening meal could help the body recover during sleep, that the food we choose before bed can move through the body like gentle hands, healing, restoring, unblocking. That's when I returned to a simple tradition, eating chawanmushi, steamed egg custard, before bed. It wasn't just comfort food, it was medicine hidden in warmth. And it changed everything. Chawanmushi, Japan's collagen-rich bedtime comfort. I still remember the first time I watched my grandmother make chawanmushi. I must have been 5 or 6. She stood in the kitchen, in her simple apron, whisking eggs with quiet focus. The steam rose gently from the bamboo steamer, and the smell of dashi, our Japanese soup stock, filled the air. It smelled like comfort, like home. Chawanmushi means steamed in a teacup. But it's more than just an egg dish. It's soft, smooth, and delicate, like a savory custard that melts in your mouth. And inside that humble cup lies a quiet power: collagen. You see, traditional chawanmushi is made from eggs and dashi, often using homemade broth simmered from fish bones, chicken bones, or kombu seaweed, all rich in natural collagen. Sometimes we add a small piece of shrimp, a shiitake mushroom, or even a slice of chicken. All of these ingredients support healthy joints, skin, and especially the blood vessels that carry fluid away from swollen legs. In Japan, this dish is often served to the elderly, children, or anyone recovering from illness. Why? Because it's easy to digest, nourishing, and soothing. It doesn't weigh the body down. Instead, it helps restore sore balance, especially before sleep. Let me tell you what's inside my usual evening bowl of chawanmushi. 2 fresh eggs, a cup of warm dashi broth, a dash of soy sauce, a few slices of shiitake mushroom, 1 small cooked shrimp, sometimes a few edamame beans, or a cube of soft tofu. That's all. I gently steam it for 10 minutes. The result is a silky custard that wobbles like soft pudding, served warm in a teacup. It's light, but powerful. Why does collagen matter so much after 60? Because our body's natural collagen production drops every year. Collagen is the glue that keeps our skin firm, our joints flexible, and our blood vessels strong. Without enough of it, veins weaken, fluid builds up in the legs, and tissues begin to sag. This is one of the hidden causes of swelling in aging legs. In one clinical study in Osaka, elderly participants who consumed collagen-rich foods daily for 8 weeks showed marked improvements in skin elasticity and reduced lower limb edema. The effect was especially strong in those who combined these meals with gentle stretching or walking. And unlike collagen powders or expensive supplements, this little bowl of chawanmushi costs very little. Just eggs, broth, and a few bits of protein. Yet when eaten regularly, especially as the last meal of the day, it can become a powerful ally in your aging journey. One of my American neighbors, a kind woman named Ellen, came to visit last winter. She'd been struggling with nightly leg cramps and ankle swelling. I made chawanmushi for her that evening, served it with green tea and warm towels for her feet. She laughed, saying it looked too small to make a difference, but a week later, she came back with tears in her eyes. "I don't know if it's your magic soup or the way you served it," she said, "but I slept through the night for the first time in months. It's not magic, it's tradition. It's food made with intention, timing, and care. In Japan, we don't always rely on big solutions. We trust in small, consistent acts. A gentle meal, a warm bath, a quiet evening. These things, repeated day by day, become medicine. So tonight, as you think about what to eat, consider this simple dish. Make it your ritual. Let it wrap your legs in warmth from the inside. Let it whisper to your body, you are cared for. The science of collagen, and how it reduces swelling after 60. As we age, we lose many things quietly: strength, flexibility, even memory. But one of the most silent losses is collagen. It slips away slowly, year after year, like the tide pulling back from the shore. By the time we reach 60, our bodies may produce half as much collagen as they did when we were young. But why does this matter? Especially for swollen legs. Collagen is like the stitching in a well-worn kimono. It holds everything together. It lines our blood vessels, cushions our joints, and supports the tissues that carry fluid throughout the body. When collagen weakens, the pipes inside us begin to lose shape. Blood doesn't flow as freely. Fluids start to leak into the soft tissues. The result? Swelling, especially in the lower legs, where gravity pulls everything down. I noticed this in myself one summer. Even after resting, my ankles stayed puffy. The skin would leave an imprint when I pressed on it, like mochi dough. That's when I began reading, asking questions. And I discovered that collagen isn't just for skin or beauty. It's essential for vascular health, especially in older adults. One study from Kyoto University followed a group of women over 65 who consumed natural collagen daily for 12 weeks. The results were gentle but powerful. They experienced not just firmer skin, but improved blood vessel tone and less pooling of fluid in their legs. Many reported feeling lighter in the mornings, with fewer cramps and less tightness around the ankles. Another small study looked at the combination of collagen-rich foods with light leg massage before bed. The group that did both had significantly less nighttime swelling and better sleep. That spoke to me, because in Japan, we already do these things. We eat soft, healing meals. We take warm baths. We rub our legs gently, not with force, but with gratitude. And that's the part Western science often forgets, how food and touch work together. Collagen supports the inside, but your habits nourish the whole. Eating chawanmushi before bed gives your body the building blocks it needs to repair the tiny tears in veins and skin. And as you sleep, this quiet rebuilding begins. It's slow, subtle, but after a few weeks, you wake up feeling different. When I began eating collagen-rich foods regularly, mostly eggs, fish, and homemade broths, I didn't expect a miracle, but slowly the swelling eased. My legs felt more stable under me. I could sit on the floor again without discomfort. Even the simple act of wearing socks became easier. And the best part? I never needed to force myself, because these foods were already comforting. They tasted like home. If you're over 60 and noticing your legs feel tight, heavy, or swollen at night, I invite you to consider not just what medicine you take, but what you feed your body before rest. Even one small dish, eaten with intention, can change how your body feels in the morning. Gentle Japanese evening habits to support healing and reduce swelling. In Japan, we often say, the body is like a garden. What you do each evening decides how it blossoms in the morning. That's why our nights are filled with small, healing rituals. After we eat something light, like chawanmushi, we don't rush off to bed. We prepare the body as carefully as we prepare our food. Especially as we age, these little habits become our medicine. The first is something I've done every night for over 20 years. Drinking a small cup of warm water before bed. Not cold, not flavored, just warm. This gentle warmth helps keep the blood flowing, supports digestion, and softens the vessels in the legs. A nurse friend once told me, it also prevents nighttime leg cramps. I believe her. Next comes something many Japanese families do quietly after dinner. We raise our legs, not in a fancy way. Just lie on your back, on a soft mat or bed, and place your calves on a folded pillow or against the wall. Keep them lifted for 10 to 15 minutes. During this time, I like to close my eyes and breathe slowly. You can feel the heaviness melt away from your ankles, as if gravity is finally working in your favor. In older bodies, circulation needs a little help, and this simple habit gives it. Massage is another evening treasure, but not the deep, painful kind. In Japan, we use a practice called ashiyubi mawashi, a light, circular thumb motion along the calves and ankles. It's done with kindness, not pressure. The goal is to encourage the fluid to move, not to force it. Some use warm towels. Others apply a drop of camellia or rice bran oil, both gentle on aging skin. One of my neighbors, a widower in his 70s, once told me, "I don't have anyone to massage me, so I speak kindly to my legs as I rub them." I found that beautiful. Healing is not just physical, it's emotional. Our bodies respond to gentleness. And perhaps my favorite evening ritual is one called Hadaka no Tsukiai, which means naked companionship. It sounds strange, but it's simply the act of soaking in a hot bath with someone you trust, spouse, child, or even alone if no one is nearby. The warmth of the water, usually around 40 degrees C, 104 degrees, helps dilate blood vessels, reduce swelling, and relax the muscles. In my home, we use yuzu peel in winter or a spoon of sea salt for extra benefit. If I had to choose only 3 habits to pair with chawanmushi, they would be a warm bath, legs elevated gentle calf massage. Done each night, these are not chores. They are kindnesses we give to ourselves. They prepare the body to rest, to heal, to rebuild what the day has worn down. And when combined with the right food, like our collagen-rich custard, the effects become stronger. Many Western doctors now recognize that nighttime routines affect blood pressure, inflammation, and even heart health. But in Japan, we've long known that a peaceful evening leads to peaceful legs. A personal story, how this bedtime ritual helped my husband walk again. My husband, Haruki, was never a man to complain. Even after he turned 70 and his legs began to stiffen, he would brush it off with a smile. "Just old age catching up," he'd say, but I could see it. The way he gripped the railing a little tighter each morning, the pause he took before rising from his chair, the shoes he began to avoid because they no longer fit comfortably. It was the swelling that scared me most. His ankles, once strong and lean, began to look like they were filled with water. Socks left deep marks in his skin. By evening, he would sit quietly on the tatami, legs stretched out, too tired to walk to the bathhouse like he used to. He wouldn't say much, but I knew something was slipping away. Doctors called it chronic venous insufficiency. They gave him pills and compression stockings, but Haruki hated the tightness. "It feels like my legs are being strangled," he'd joke. So I returned to what I knew, not as a cure, but as an act of love. I began making chawanmushi every evening again. Just like we used to in our early years of marriage, I used good dashi, made from bonito flakes and kombu, stirred gently with 2 fresh eggs. I added shiitake for his immune system, a small shrimp for protein, and soft tofu to soothe his stomach. I served it warm, with a tiny spoon and a gentle smile. At first, he resisted. "What's this, baby food?" he teased, but after a few nights, he began to ask for it. "Is the pudding ready?" he'd say, as if it were a treat. Alongside the food, I added small rituals, a warm towel for his feet, 10 minutes, with his legs propped on a pillow. Soft massage, nothing fancy, just my hands moving slowly over his calves as I hummed old songs from our youth. We soaked together in the bath again, something we hadn't done in years. I never said, "This will fix you." I just wanted him to feel cared for. And then something changed. It didn't happen overnight, but slowly the swelling softened. He began walking to the mailbox again, then to the corner store. His slippers fit better. He said his legs felt less angry. One morning, he stood up without making that little grunt I'd grown so used to hearing. That's when I knew his body was waking up again. The biggest moment came months later when our grandson visited from Tokyo. Haruki walked him to the park. Not far, just down the street, but he did it without stopping, without pain, without swelling. He came home, sat beside me, and whispered, "Thank you for not giving up on my legs." That night, we shared chawanmushi like always, but it tasted different, fuller somehow. Not because of what was in it, but because of what it had brought back to us: movement, connection, and quiet joy. I share this story not because I think it will work for everyone, but because it reminds me that healing doesn't always come in big steps. Sometimes it arrives in small bowls, warm hands, and slow evenings. How you can try this at home. Simple steps for American kitchens. You don't need a Japanese kitchen to begin this healing ritual. In fact, many of the ingredients for chawanmushi can be found in any American grocery store. And even if you can't find the exact ones, there are simple, gentle substitutes that still offer the same comfort and collagen support. Let me guide you, step by step. To start, all you need are 2 eggs, 1 cup of broth, chicken, vegetable, or ideally bone broth for collagen, a splash of soy sauce or a pinch of salt. Optional add-ins, sliced mushrooms, small shrimp, soft tofu, or frozen peas. Begin by gently beating the eggs in a bowl, just until the whites and yolks blend. Warm your broth slightly, then mix it slowly into the eggs. Add a pinch of salt or a drop of soy sauce for flavor. Strain the mixture through a fine sieve if you want it extra smooth, just like we do in Japan. Pour this into small ramekins or heat-proof cups. Cover them with foil or a plate, then steam them gently for about 10 to 12 minutes. You can do this with a steamer basket or by placing a rack inside a pot with a little boiling water. When it's done, the custard should wobble gently like pudding and feel warm and soft. This little bowl contains protein from the eggs, minerals from the broth, and if you use bone broth or shrimp, natural collagen to nourish your aging tissues. It's not a heavy meal. It's a message to your body. I'm giving you what you need to rest well. And if you can't make it every night, that's okay. Start with twice a week. Then add a warm foot soak or elevate your legs as we talked about. Healing is not about perfection. It's about rhythm, doing the small things with care and intention. You can also adapt this dish to your taste. Use miso broth instead of chicken broth. Add a piece of cooked chicken or leftover vegetables. Make it your own. One woman from Michigan wrote to me last year. She started making her version of chawanmushi using homemade turkey bone broth, mushrooms, and a little turmeric. "I call it my sleepy soup," she said. "My ankles haven't felt this light in years." That made me smile, because wherever you are in the world, whether in Tokyo or Texas, there's something deeply human about ending the day with something warm, soft, and healing. It connects us to our bodies, to our breath, to the quiet work of rest and repair. Aging is not the end of movement. It's the beginning of deeper listening. If your legs are swollen, heavy, or tired, it doesn't mean you've failed. It simply means your body is asking for help. And sometimes that help arrives in the quietest ways. A warm meal, a gentle routine, a bit of stillness before sleep. My husband's healing didn't come from big medicines or new machines. It came from a simple bowl of shawanmushi, soft hands on tired calves, and the decision to treat his aging body with kindness, not frustration. You don't need to do everything at once. Just begin. Maybe tonight. Try the custard. Soak your feet. Breathe slowly. Give thanks to the legs that have carried you this far. And remember, you're not alone. I'm here with you, from my little home in Japan, cheering you on. Before you go, I gently remind you, the health information shared in this video is not medical advice and may not apply to everyone. If you're concerned about your health, please speak with your doctor or healthcare provider. If you feel you are in an emergency situation, contact local emergency services immediately. Now tell me, what's your favorite way to unwind before bed? I'd love to hear in the comments. And if this video brought you peace, please subscribe so we can continue walking this gentle path together.